Welcome to my channel. Please don't forget to subscribe, like and share for more interesting stories. In the village of Ndem, there was a girl named Amara. Amara was unlike anyone else in the village. Her skin glowed like smooth bronze touched by the sun. Her hair was long and dark, and when the wind blew through it, it looked like a river flowing under moonlight. Her eyes were bright, her smile soft, and her voice was gentle like a songbird in the morning. But what made Amara special was this: she never looked tired. It didn't matter how hot the sun was or how hard the farm work had been, Amara's face stayed fresh, her lips stayed red, and her steps stayed light. Even when other girls dragged their feet home at sunset, Amara looked like she had just woken up from the sweetest sleep. And so, the people of Ndem began to whisper. "Maybe she is blessed by the gods," one woman said. "No," said another, shaking her head. "No one can look that perfect all the time. Maybe she has some secret cream she rubs on her skin at night. She must be eating something special," one of the young men said. "Have you seen her? Her skin glows like oil under the sun." But the old women of the village simply narrowed their eyes. "Beauty like that always has a price," they muttered. "No one can look so perfect for free." The more people whispered, the more curious they became. Some girls tried to follow Amara home. Others tried to watch her from their windows at night. But every time they looked, Amara was nowhere to be seen. You see, Amara had a secret. Every night, after everyone had gone to bed, she would quietly rise from her mat. She would wrap a cloth around herself, take off her slippers, and step out into the dark night barefoot. The moon would light her way as she walked out of the village, past the farmlands, and into the thick forest. The forest at night was a scary place. Strange owls called from the trees, crickets sang their sharp songs, and sometimes wild animals moved in the bushes. But Amara was never afraid. She knew where she was going. Deeper and deeper she walked, until she reached a small clearing. In the middle of the clearing was a well, an old, cracked stone well, half covered with climbing plants. Most people in the village avoided this place. They said the well was cursed. They said a spirit lived there. But Amara knew the truth. It was no ordinary spirit, it was a keeper of beauty. Every night, as soon as Amara stepped into the clearing, the air would grow cold. Mist would rise around the well, and a soft voice would speak. "You have come again, child." "Yes," Amara would answer, her voice steady. The mist would swirl, and slowly, the spirit would appear. She was not scary. She was beautiful, too beautiful to be human. Her hair floated like water, her skin shone like silver, and her eyes were like deep pools. "Are you ready to pay the price?" the spirit would ask. "Yes," Amara would say. Then the spirit would stretch out her hand. Amara would step closer, and the spirit would touch her forehead. That was when it happened, the price. Each night, the spirit would take one memory from Amara's mind. Sometimes it was a small memory, like the taste of the first mango she ever ate. Sometimes it was something bigger, like the name of a friend she played with as a child. In exchange, the spirit made her skin glow, her hair shine, and her face stay fresh. At first, Amara didn't mind. The memories the spirit took were small ones. She still remembered her family, her friends, her home. But slowly, things began to change. One morning, Amara woke up and felt strange. She was brushing her hair when her younger sister ran in. "Amara, look," she said, holding up a bracelet. "Do you remember this? Mama gave it to you before she passed." Amara stared at the bracelet. It was beautiful, made of colorful beads. But she frowned. "Mama?" she asked. Her sister's smile fell. "Yes, Mama. Don't you remember her?" Amara tried. She pressed her fingers to her temples, but nothing came. It was as if her memory was a book, and one whole chapter had been torn out. She dropped the bracelet and ran out of the hut. That day, Amara didn't go to the forest. She sat under the shade of a tree, thinking. If the spirit kept taking memories, what would be left of her? But then she saw her reflection in a pot of water and her heart softened. Her skin was smooth, her face was perfect. Even though she had been crying, she still looked beautiful. She told herself, just one more night. Just one more memory. I will stop after that. So, that night, she returned to the well. The spirit was waiting. "You are afraid," the spirit said softly. "Yes," Amara whispered. "Do you wish to stop?" Amara looked at her reflection in the water. Then she thought about how everyone in the village admired her, how they called her the most beautiful girl in Ndem. "No," she said. "Take one more memory." The spirit smiled. When Amara woke the next morning, she didn't remember why she had been afraid the day before. She didn't even remember her sister's name. She simply stood before the mirror and smiled. Her beauty shone brighter than ever. But far away, in the deepest part of her heart, something was missing, and the missing piece was growing bigger with every night.
Every morning, the grass was wet with dew, the roofs dripped with water, and the air smelled fresh and green. Children laughed and played in the puddles. The farmer smiled because the crops were growing fast. And through it all, Amara walked through the village, her head high, her face glowing, her beauty brighter than ever. But inside her heart, something was not right. One day, as Amara was weaving a mat outside her hut, a young man approached. "Amara," he called. Amara looked up. The young man had kind eyes and a smile that warmed the heart. "Who are you?" she asked softly. The smile on his face faded. "You don't know me." Amara shook her head slowly. "I am Chike," the young man said. "We grew up together. We used to climb the mango trees near the stream. We used to race each other to the hills. Don't you remember?" Amara pressed her fingers against her forehead. There was something, a faint picture of two children laughing, but then it was gone. "I'm sorry," she said. Chike stared at her for a long time. Then he nodded and walked away. Amara watched him go, her chest feeling strangely heavy. She didn't know why. That night, she went to the well again. "You are forgetting too much," the spirit said when it saw her. "I know," Amara whispered. "But look at me. I am the most beautiful girl in the village. People look at me like I am a queen. I can't lose this. Please take another memory." The spirit tilted its head. "Are you sure? Each memory you give makes you less of who you are." "I am sure," Amara said. The spirit touched her forehead. This time, it took the memory of her father's voice. Weeks passed and soon the biggest festival of the year arrived, the festival of the new moon. On this night, the whole village gathered in the square. There were drums, dances, and feasts. People wore their finest clothes and painted their faces. Amara wore a white cloth wrapped around her waist and a string of beads across her chest. Her hair was braided with cowries, and she looked like a goddess. Everyone stared when she arrived. Even the old chief could not hide his admiration. But as the drummers beat their drums and the dancers jumped, Amara stood still. She did not dance. Chike came to stand beside her. "Why do you look so sad?" he asked. "I am not sad," Amara said quickly. "Yes, you are," Chike said. "I can see it in your eyes. Your beauty is great, Amara, but your heart looks empty." Amara looked away. That night Amara went back to the well again. "You are still not happy," the spirit said. "I thought beauty would make me happy," Amara whispered. "But I still feel hollow." "Then give me more," the spirit said. Amara hesitated. "What more can I give? You have taken my memories." "There are other things," the spirit said softly. "I can take the sound of your laughter. I can take the warmth of your tears. I can take the feeling of your joy. You will still be beautiful, even more beautiful than now. But you will not feel so much." Amara thought about the way her chest arched when Chike spoke to her. She thought about the sadness that stayed with her even when she smiled. "Take them," she said. And so, that night, the spirit took the sound of Amara's laughter. The next day, the children of the village gathered around Amara. "Tell us a story," they begged. Amara sat down and told them a story about a clever tortoise. The story was funny. It used to make everyone laugh, but this time, her voice was flat. There was no laughter in it. The children frowned. "She is not the same," one whispered. "She sounds cold," another said. Even the elders began to notice. "She is beautiful," yes, they said. "But there is something strange about her. She smiles, but her smile does not reach her eyes." One night, Chike decided to follow Amara. He waited until everyone was asleep, then crept after her, careful not to make a sound. He saw her walk through the farmlands, past the big trees, and into the forest. He followed her all the way to the clearing. When he saw her standing by the well, he almost called out. But then he saw the mist rise and he froze. The spirit appeared. Chike's eyes widened. "You have come again, Amara," the spirit said. "Yes," Amara said softly. "Take something else. Make me more beautiful." Chike's heart pounded. He watched as the spirit touched Amara's forehead and light poured from her. He saw her face grow even more radiant, but he also saw her expression grow blanker. When Amara turned to leave, Chike stepped out of the shadows. Amara stopped. "Who are you?" she asked. Chike's heart broke. "It's me," he said quietly. "Chike, your friend." But Amara just shook her head. "I don't know you," she said. And then she walked past him, back into the village. Chike stood in the clearing for a long time, staring at the well. That night Chike made a promise. I will not let her lose herself, he said aloud, his voice shaking. Even if she forgets me, I will save her. The spirit in the well smiled faintly, as if it had heard him. The forest grew silent, and far away, Amara lay on her mat, her eyes open, staring at the roof, beautiful, empty, and unable to remember why her heart felt so heavy. The rain stopped, the ground grew dry, and the harmattan winds blew dust across the village. The people of Ndem prepared for the biggest event of the year, the moon bride ceremony. Every year, the most beautiful girl in the village was chosen to wear a crown of white feathers and lead the dance under the full moon. That year, everyone knew who it would be. It could only be Amara. On the night of the ceremony, the whole village gathered. Drummers beat their drums, women clapped, children cheered. The chief came forward with the crown of white feathers. Amara, he said, tonight, you are the moon bride. The crowd shouted with joy. Amara stood there, tall and shining like a star. Her skin glowed in the moonlight. Her hair was perfect, her face calm and flawless. But inside, she felt nothing. As the crowd cheered, Amara looked around. People were smiling, clapping, calling her name. But she did not smile back. She did not feel proud. She did not feel happy. Her heart was quiet. Chike stood at the edge of the crowd, watching. He saw the beauty, yes. But he also saw the emptiness. This must stop, he said to himself. That night, when everyone was asleep, Chike went back to the forest. He stood before the well. I know you can hear me, he said. The mist rose and the spirit appeared. You are brave to come here, child of man, the spirit said. I am here for Amara, Chike said. Give her back what you have taken. The spirit tilted its head. And why should I do that? Because she is not herself anymore, Chike said. She has forgotten her family, her laughter, her friends. She has forgotten me. The spirit's silver eyes glowed softly. She chose this, the spirit said. She wanted beauty. She gave what was hers freely. Then take something from me, Chike said. Take anything but give her back what makes her Amara. The spirit was silent for a long time. Finally, it said, very well. I will make you an offer. If you give me something that is not yours to give, I will return all of Amara's memories. I will make her whole again. Chike frowned. Something that is not mine to give. Yes, said the spirit. Give me your love for her. If you do, she will remember everything, but she will no longer be beautiful as you know her. Her glow will fade. Her face will age like any other woman's. She will feel pain again. She will laugh and cry again. But you will no longer love her. To you, she will be just another girl. Chike's heart twisted. He loved Amara more than anything. The thought of not loving her was like tearing out his own heart. But he thought of Amara's empty eyes, her silent smiles. He closed his eyes. Take it, he said. Take my love. The spirit nodded. He reached out and touched Chike's chest. For a moment, Chike felt as though his heart had been opened and a light pulled out of him. Tears filled his eyes, but then the feeling was gone. The spirit's voice echoed, "It is done," and then the forest fell silent. That night Amara dreamed for the first time in many months. She dreamed of her mother's face, her father's voice, laughter of her friends, the sound of Chike calling her name. She woke with tears on her cheeks. She ran to the pot of water and looked at her reflection and gasped. Her face was no longer glowing. Her skin looked like that of any other girl. The magic was gone, but as she stared, she smiled a real smile, one she had not felt in a long time. Her heart was full. When she stepped out of her hut, the villagers gasped. What happened to her beauty? They whispered. Look, her glow is gone. Was it all just a trick? But Amara walked past them with her head high. She went to find Chike. She found him near the stream, mending a fishing. That, Chike, she said softly. He looked up. His eyes were calm. Yes. He asked politely. It's me, Amara said. I remember everything now. I remember Mama, I remember the mango tree, I remember you. Chike smiled faintly. I am glad, he said. Don't you feel anything? She asked. Chike shook his head. No, but I am happy you are whole again. Amara's heart arched, but then she smiled, because for the first time in many moons, she felt alive. She felt pain, yes, but she also felt hope. That night, as the moon rose over the village, Amara sat outside and watched the stars. She no longer glowed like silver, but her heart glowed with something better, peace. She whispered to herself, "Beauty is not in the face. It is in the heart. And I would rather be whole than be perfect." And far away in the forest the spirit of the well smiled. For it knew that Amara had finally learned the greatest secret of all,